Hello guys, thanks so much for returning. Now, as you saw in the title, this video is about young Dolph and all the people associated with this case in some way or another. Recently, well, actually yesterday, September 23rd, was the first day of young Dolph's trial. This trial was well awaited. All his fans and everybody that was really invested in the story have been waiting for this trial to start anywhere between 2.5, 3 years now. Dolph was unalive November 17th, 2021, if I'm not mistaken. And I have been really waiting for this trial. I really enjoyed young Dolph's music prior to his unaliving. Now, just a really quick recap. And let me also state that I am starting a whole new channel solely for information as it relates to this case, because I'm really invested. It's really unfortunate. All unalivings are unfortunate, but this one was really touching, because the rapper Young Dolph was really a pillar in his community, doing a lot of things to help the less fortunate. His day of unaliving, he was in Memphis, Tennessee, to do a turkey drive that he did every year, apparently. So the new channel for the Young Dolph trial is called Young Dolph Daily, or Dolph Daily, actually. And I'm starting to get that one up and running, and it will only house and talk about information as it relates to the Young Dolph trial. So moving on, a really quick recap about this case. Young Dolph was unalive November 17th, 2021. There are several co-defendants in this case, but the main defendants in this case are Justin Johnson, also known as Straight Drop, Cornelius Smith, as well as Hernandez Govan, also known as Orange Malquet. These are the main three characters of this case, along with rapper Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, and a couple of few other people. Now, unlike the trial for rapper Young Thug, which I'm also into that trial as well, those co-defendants in that trial are being tried all at once against the state of Georgia. In this case, the state of Tennessee is trying each defendant separately. Now, for those of you who do not know, Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook, was unalived earlier this year, so he will not be tried. However, his name is being spoke all up and through this trial, y'all. He is actually the person who put money on young Dolph's head, all upwards of $100,000. These young men were to get paid some of that money. Now, Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith were the two bangers that took young Dolph out on that unfateful day at the Makita's Cookies. And Justin Johnson was supposed to get, I believe it was $40,000, and Cornelius Smith was supposed to get $40,000 as well. Now, because of the fact that Cornelius Smith had a D problem, he particularly liked those pills that starts with a P, ends in perk. He was fueled to do this thing because he was trying to get money for his habit, as well as birthday gifts for one of his kids. I believe it was a daughter. Now, if you cannot believe, try to believe that this man did an unaliving on his daughter's birthday. And he wanted to get that. At least he thought he was going to get that money, which was $40,000. That's what he was promised. He thought he was going to get it that same day so he can go out and buy his daughter a bunch of gifts and, probably a bunch of D's so he can pop all day. but it did not happen that way. They kind of nickeled and dimed this guy, which is really, really unfortunate. It seems like they sold both of these guys a dream that, you guys can get this money, all this money, and we'll pay for your lawyers. You know what I'm saying? If it goes awry, we'll pay for the lawyers to get you out. And, anybody knows it just doesn't even happen that way. You know what I mean? Even if you have the best of lawyers, it doesn't always mean that you're going to get off. You know what I mean? Justin Johnson, he was supposed to get that 40 G's as well as a contract to be one of the new rap artists on CMG. CMG is head up by Yo Gotti as well as the brother Big Jook. But the main purpose, and that was just a really quick recap. Like I said, I'll have daily updates of this trial on the channel dedicated to the Young Dolph trial called Dolph Daily here on YouTube. It's not completely finished, so I will put notifications up on YouTube to let those of you who care know. But the main purpose of this video was about noticing the sister of Big Jook and Yo Gotti. I believe her name is Robin, and she's been sending out subliminal messages and things on her social media recently since this trial started. As I stated, it's just day 2. Today is just day 2. And I'm quite sure her family, her friends, people are watching this trial just like so many others. Or maybe even her, her family, her brothers, maybe they're watching the trial as well. But I'm quite sure if she's not, people are reporting back to her that her brother's name is being said all up and through this trial. There is a defendant by the name, like I said, Cornelius Johnson, who did go on the stand yesterday, a bit of yesterday and today, and he's basically singing like a canary. He's telling it all, y'all, blow for blow. And it's really, really sad because, these guys are looking at life sentences without parole. And it's just, they messed up their lives. It's so, so sad. But, so anyway, the sister, she's, like I said, sending out subliminal messages. And it's unfortunate that, you have family members in your family that you kind of don't really know other parts of them or other things that they're into or certain things that they do. You're kind of like outdone by them. You're shocked by them. You might be embarrassed by them. You may be ashamed of the things that certain people in your family are doing, especially if you didn't know anything about the stuff that these people in your family are doing. So it kind of seems that way with the sister. She kind of, I don't know, maybe she did know how her brother was laying, maybe she didn't, I don't know. But for this man to it had already been said throughout that whole community out there in Memphis that the CMG crew, which is head up by Yo Gotti and the brother Big Jook, was most definitely behind this unaliving of young Dolph. I mean, the story is all out there about the rivalry between young Dolph and Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti basically wanted young Dolph to be on his label, and Dolph said, no, I kind of want to do this thing on my own. And he did it on his own, and he ended up being just as successful, just as rich, maybe not as popular as Yo Gotti, but he definitely had just as much money, and he definitely was a big notoriety in their community. But I don't think he was known as nationally as Yo Gotti was, if that makes sense. But it was definitely a rivalry between the two record labels, which is CMG and Young Dolph's label called Paper Route. So, it just seems like the sister is kind of going through it, maybe being a little naive or maybe being a little ashamed or just in denial about some of the things that her brother did and was capable of. I mean, this guy, he has no reason to lie at this point. You know, he's looking at a life sentence. You know, he might as well just go and tell the truth. And he, in fact, said because he is sober now, he felt that he just should just tell the truth and tell all that happened and all who was involved. So take a look at some of the information that I found on the social media that the sister, I believe her name is Robin, I don't know her last name, but that she's been putting up her subliminal messages, basically saying, you know, healing is all she's on, which she does deserve healing because that is her brother. Like it or love it, whatever he was or wasn't, I'm quite sure she loves her brother. That's obvious. And then she also put up this little short clip from I believe her name is Ari Fletcher, I think her name is. She's actually the girlfriend of one of her brother's record label mates, which his name is Moneybagg Yo. I think she goes with the rapper Moneybagg Yo. And she had a little short message that speaks volumes to basically how the sister is feeling. So you guys like the video, subscribe, take a look at the video, and hit your notifications. Make comments if you choose. I do talk back. And until next time, ciao.
I want to say, like, I'm throwing my hands up because it's like it does not matter what you say. Like, even people could not believe it and people just still gonna say it just because they know it fuck with you or they don't like you or whatever. Like,